And your name, please?
Marcel Brevoort.
Thank you.
This is Captain Johnson. I would like to welcome you aboard Flight 842, departing non-stop from New York to Paris. The flight time to Paris is approximately 13 hours, and we'll be flying at an altitude of 19,000 feet.
Monsieur Brevoort.
Monsieur Brevoort, I'm Captain Chiron of the Sûreté.
You will forgive these, please?
Of course. A souvenir of the war, I've been told, from the Gestapo. We appreciate your cooperation, monsieur, knowing it must be a great inconvenience.
To see Paris again is a great pleasure, monsieur, not an inconvenience. And to see justice done is my duty, if it can be.
This is Mr. Robbins of the British Foreign Office, Monsieur Marcel Brevoort.
How do you do? Another souvenir of the war, I see.
Ah, that one from France, the Legion of Honor. And this is Herr Bauer of Schweinfurt, Germany.
Also official work?
Not since the war. I was formerly with the Gestapo.
Herr Bauer is now a dealer, monsieur, in antiques.
As I am now a dealer in importing foreign cars into America. Times have changed, Herr Bauer, and activities with them.
Not all activities, monsieur. The pursuit of justice, for example. The settlement of a crime committed in the last days of the war. That's why we're here, gentlemen, to complete our case against a murderer. Although Monsieur Brevoort some time ago identified this man for our New York consulate, it's only now that we've been able to have you all here at once and to gather additional material. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
Monsieur Brevoort?
That's the man, Peter Forrester.
You knew him too, Mr. Robbins.
Yes, in London. He was one of the Americans I dealt with.
Called himself an American. But I've never known a man more completely a Frenchman. In every way, in manner, in speech.
That is interesting, since when I met him, he seemed a German. Hans Noack, he called himself then.
Whatever he called himself, he murdered Armand Dubois. Yes, that one. Armand, a true soldier of France. Killed by no enemy on the battlefield, but by a fellow Marquis.
But what was this Forrester's motive, monsieur? I was never able to learn.
Or I.
And yet you saw him do it?
No, not with my own eyes. I realize that nothing I've told the consulate gives you proof. But I am as certain that he killed Armand as I am that I'm sitting here.
We are hoping there was someone who did see him. At this moment, we're doing everything possible to locate other members of your Marquis unit.
Locate them?
This Lautrec, for one.
Ah, yes. A very good likeness of a foolish savage. Maria. For all her looks, what a soldier she was.
This is also interesting, since when I knew her, she was a nun.
The point is, what is she now, and where? This Maria was finally captured, and all trace of her is long since gone. And Lautrec, who had 4 glorious years killing the Boche before he himself was shot down, and undoubtedly killed. We never saw him again. My whole unit, or what was left of it, was broken up even before the invasion. A gallery for the morgue you have.
If we can trace the events that put the gun in that man's hand, that gave him a reason to kill, then it may be that we shall have our case.
I'm afraid I can contribute nothing prior to 1943.
That was your first meeting with Forrester?
Yes, and mine. It was the early part of 1943.
Then my first meeting was earlier, much earlier. It was the 16th of June, the year 1940. An easy day to remember. For it was that day that Paris, the city of light, became Paris, the city of darkness. The day the master of the master race arrived, speed through the crowded streets of his newly acquired capital to hear the cheers of welcome from his conquered people. But there were no crowded streets, no cheers of welcome. It is not easy to conquer hearts, no matter how hard you try. The Battle of France was over, and for many thousands of French, it was over. Just as the radio said it was over. Said it officially, monotonously.
All French military units will lay down their arms. Repeat. All French military units will lay down their arms.
But for some isolated remnants of the French Foreign Legion who refused to believe what they heard, for them it was not over. Not yet.
Hey, Jacques, you get upstairs. We'll cover this window. Repeat. All French military units will lay down their arms. Cease firing! Cease firing! You heard him, Lautrec. Cease firing! All French military units will lay down their arms. You heard the order! Cease firing! Repeat. All French military units will lay down their arms.
Now do you wonder what happened to the Army of France? What was your function, Captain? A leader of retreats?
Yes, when those were my orders. You can gain nothing by this. Stay alive, so we can fight when our day really comes.
Why did you so-called soldiers have to stumble in on us?
Surrender, I tell you.
My brave Poilu, the Legion can't surrender. It says so in the book.
Lautrec, you all right? Oh, your last one as usual, huh?
This was that Boche Major's last one.
The Bush colonel is hunting his gold lighter, eh?
At such a time, men of high rank have no need for frivolity.
That's why I liberated this.
Oh, you are a man of rare talent. Even courage, I have noticed, when you've had enough cognac. No, not all of it. I may need some courage, too. Ah! Sacre bleu!
I'm out of ammo.
Lay down your arms!
What? Sergeant, shoot anyone who moves.
Tell that yellow-backed weasel to whistle another tune, soldier. He's out of bounds in here. Get back, White!
You're still under military orders. Do as you're told. Lay down your arms. Sergeant, I said shoot anyone who moves.
Yes, sir.
Hey, why don't you stick your face out, Captain? It's whiter than the handkerchief.
Feuer anhalten!
Endo! Alleraus! All right. After you, my brave captain. I don't trust these Germans.
Long time before I even knew what he called himself, this Peter Forrester. Because at the end of that day in June in 1940, we were added to the rising reservoir of prisoners, then dispersed. Some were funneled into forced labor groups to remain here in France. Others were routed into prisoner of war camps in Germany. Some were shot. We lost all track of one another. Lautrec.
Major Lautrec now, and once again of the Foreign Legion. I'm Captain Chiron, Major. I'm sure you remember Monsieur Marcel Brevard. If we accomplish nothing more, monsieur, we can always say we produced one reunion.
Mind you, I'm not saying I approve of what you did that day. But then, that was an entire war ago.
Yes. And we both seem to have learned a little of what it's like. Oh, I see you've been with our forces in Indochina.
Have been? 36 hours ago, monsieur, I was standing 2 feet in front of the bamboo curtain. And I hope I can be back there soon.
That remains to be seen, Major. At the moment, we're interested in a man called Forrester.
Oui. A very fine friend of mine.
Currently under investigation for the murder of one Captain Armand Dubois. You don't seem much disturbed by this charge against your friend?
Disturbed? If Forrester had looked for 10 years, he couldn't have found a more suitable man to murder. If he did it. And I don't know that he did. I didn't see him do it.
I see. Then perhaps you can tell us something about Forrester himself. After your surrender in 1940, were you in touch with him at that time?
We were together all the way to the prison camp in Austria. Yes, I can speak of him with authority. And also of the months that followed. The months when the Axis tide was rolling high. To Norway by transport. To England by bomber. Across the Balkans by Panzer. Onto Crete by parachute. In 1941 and 42, the travel folders of the Fuhrer said, all roads lead from Berlin. But this man, this Forrester and I, we had different travel folders. On the other side of the fence lies hope. Forrester, come on.
I'll be all right. Let's go.
Forrester.
Yes. Still prison, my son. But you will live. You were brought here 2 weeks ago, very ill.
Lautrec. There was another.
The one who was shot?
Lautrec.
He hide like armor plate. With me, there's nothing a bullet can do but bounce off.
What's that you're wearing? Protection against drafts.
There is good news for you, Maurice. You are to be repatriated, the next shipment back to France. You will get better fast now. Wait and see.
Un beau geste. Repatriating French prisoners. The dying ones. They think I don't know. They think I don't know.
A friend.
It may be that someone will have to replace poor Maurice. I was noticing how much you resemble him.
Nonsense. I outweigh him 100 pounds. You are the... Brother Francis. He will take Maurice's place.
Lautrec.
He has to.
He will not be strong enough to leave his bed for some time. But you are already out of yours.
You see, Lautrec, you are always wrong.
Forrester. In the city of Marseille is a restaurant called the Black Bull. There you will find the worst food in all of France. And there, God willing, you will find me.
Good luck, Maurice.
Good luck.
René Tabec. Georges Bonnet. Maurice Didot. Is this elephant to be repatriated?
What does his tag say?
Maurice Didot. Tuberculosis.
Go, 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 go.
That was the way it was in those days. You would become closer than a brother to a total stranger, as I was to this Forrester. And when you parted, it was usually forever.
Fighting French forces are in a high state of training, and General de Gaulle declared today, the forces of freedom are on the march.
Closed on Sunday. Go away! Jean-Baptiste Leblanc. Tuberculosis. Ah, you're here. You made it, huh? There's no question St. Peter doesn't want you, huh? Here! Here's my friend, the one I've been telling you about. The slippery one. Bouillabaisse. Just what it needed to fine you. For the men to wine.
He told me this place had the worst food in all of France. I came to find out.
Your troubles are over, my pigeon. Here, the whole pot is yours.
Lautrec, you said this place had the worst food in all of France. This is the most delicious meal I've had in days.
And probably the first.
Tell me, these days, how does one go about earning the money to
buy these delicacies.
Each trinket one liberates from the Germans is one step nearer victory.
Casablanca, Oran, and Algiers. Men poured ashore simultaneously from the three task forces. The liberation of North Africa has begun. At last, the Americans have been hurled against the Germans, and Algiers has already been occupied. One moment, please.
Americans? Then we're really in it now. Trick, I've got to sign up. I've got to get to England.
England?
Do you know of a closer American headquarters?
It can be done. But a lot easier on a full stomach. Eat, pigeon, eat. There, the thread breaks itself. He disappeared from us soon after, along the regular escape route to England.
I believe my data puts the thread back together, gentlemen. Certainly this particular strand.
He did reach England. Is that correct, Mr. Robbins?
Yes. Certain French sources of information had stimulated our interest in this man, and we were notified of his arrival in London in January of 1943. The same night, I might add, that we received a more accustomed visitor. The German Luftwaffe was going methodically about its task of trying to destroy the city, trying to demolish the hope and spirit of an entire population, and incidentally, of making our search for one individual a rather difficult task. Our men finally found him in a bomb shelter, without papers of any sort, demanding to be taken to the American embassy.
Mr. Robbins, all I want is to get into an American uniform. Now, what's so hard to believe about that?
For an American, you speak German extremely well.
Well, is it a crime to learn languages? I speak French extremely well. Why shouldn't I? I spent 7 years in France and 5 in Germany.
Why?
I told you my father was an American engineer representing a Detroit firm in Europe.
Oh, yes, the Smith and Belden Cable Company.
Belding, not Belden.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Mr. Forrester. I always have trouble with names. Are there 3 or 4 pictures on the wall next to the map of Europe? Now, don't look.
2 photographs and some kind of a framed diploma.
Very observant, Mr. Forrester. As a German spy should be.
Oh.
Why did you return to the United States?
To go to college.
College? But what's this about the Marines?
Well, if you must know, I flunked out of college and did a hitch in the Marines.
And you're now a novelist?
Yes.
Am I to consider this a normal background for an American writer? Failure in college, an enlistment in the Marines?
Well, normal or not, it's the truth. I wanted to write, and I knew Europe better than the States, so I came back to France.
And joined the Foreign Legion?
Yes.
I must say that we've had quite a job finding out any of your published works.
Told you the names to look for.
I suppose writing under several names is considered perfectly normal procedure in this literary field. It's safer, no doubt. Sands of Flame. The Stirring Romance of the Riffs by Dexter Chalmers. Yes, I had time to read just a little of this stirring romance. It's certainly plain why the author should choose to write under another name. Now, on page 55, when Antoine is in the moonlit garden with a beautiful Arab girl, and he wants her to remove her veil, now, what does he say to her? Do you remember?
I've already seen your face in my dreams.
Go on.
Your eyes glow like black jewels in the desert sun. Your teeth are like pearls in a golden crown.
More?
Your lips are like a ripe pomegranate.
Yes, interesting description, no doubt, for a certain type of reader.
And there's a certain type of Englishman. Now, do I get to the American embassy or not?
Mr. Forrester would like some tea outside.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes? Major Dawson? Robbins. Language is excellent. Memory excellent. Observation excellent. Personality, pugnacious. But perhaps that's no drawback for what you have in mind.
Don't I ever get out of this place?
Sit down. Major Dawson will be free in a minute.
What on earth are you?
I'm a member of the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve.
Say, can you get me through to the American Embassy?
Don't be silly. You must proceed through channels. There's a war on, you know.
Oh, now listen, sister. I was in the Marines before you were a Girl Scout.
Oh, a hero. Please sit down. Not that one. Heroes sit on the other chair. It's softer. Mr. Forrester is here to see you, sir. Major Dawson will see you now.
Thanks, Leatherneck.
Forrester?
Yes, sir?
I'm Major Dawson. This is Captain Hughes.
Hi.
Sit down, please.
What is this, more interrogation?
A different kind. Robbins just called us. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Me too.
Cigarette?
Thanks.
Robbie's a great one for the needle technique. Wanted to see how you jump.
How did I jump?
High enough to convince us your familiarity with France and Germany could be very valuable. How about it, Forrester? Want to be a Marine again? Starting here?
You pay better than the Air Corps now?
No, but you must know the women like us better.
Nearsighted women, that is.
Your application's already made out. All you have to do is sign.
Is there a bath and a shave in it?
And 24 hours solid sleep.
Booked.
You better enjoy that sleep. As soon as you finish your training, you'll be assigned to a special mission called Danger Forward. After that, I don't think you'll sleep very much.
As you know, ball bearings are essential to all industry, and without them, the enemy cannot exist. These plants are in Schweinfurt, farther into Germany than our bombers have yet penetrated. But if this raid is successful, we shall go even deeper. Munich, Leipzig, Berlin. Can we succeed? Our bombers, traveling without fighter escort, over more miles of enemy territory than they've ever attempted, will be opposed by everything the Germans can put in the air. I can tell you now, our losses will be the heaviest we've yet suffered. They can only be justified by perfect results. Let me show you some recent results. The roof and the walls are completely collapsed. As you can see from this reconnaissance photograph, the factory seemed to be destroyed beyond use. Gentlemen, it was back in operation in less than 1 week's time. The machinery inside, which no camera can see from the air, was scarcely damaged at all. The raid was an utter failure. The Schweinfurt raid can't be a failure. The machinery must be destroyed. We've got to know it's destroyed. And since no camera in the air can tell us that, we're going to use a camera on the ground. You 3 men are that camera. You'll leave tonight. Captain Hughes will drop you, so you'll be in Schweinfurt when we strike. You'll send us a report immediately. Zabreski, Forrester, Duncan, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
That's your assignment. Simple, isn't it?
Your shortwave transmitter, gentlemen, preset to our frequency here. You should have no trouble in getting your report to us. May I see those cigarettes? German Turkish. Strictly ersatz. Pretty good, Zabreski. Made in Solingen. But this is an export knife. Dead giveaway. It's no good, Duncan. May I? By the way, Forrester, I got around to reading your other story. Somewhat better than the first, I thought.
Oh, you make the whole world seem brighter.
Herr Noack.
Yes?
Why aren't you in the army?
Oh, my discharge papers. I contracted lung ailment, result of pneumonia, while I was in Austria.
But you don't talk like an Austrian.
I was only stationed in Austria. I'm actually an Alsatian.
Well, if anything goes wrong, there's always Plan B.
Then on to Plan C, try and get out alive.
Yes, I was coming to that situation.
What are those?
Poison capsules encased in rubber. You can keep one safely in your mouth. You can even swallow one safely. But if you choose to bite down on one, I only mention this in case you should be captured and the Gestapo might make you talk. It's entirely up to you.
Thanks very much. You think of everything.
Thank you. Your bombs.
Right. We'll be ready to take off in 12 minutes. The British are really plastering Darmstadt and Würzburg tonight. We can slip through to Schweinfurt while Jerry's picking up the pieces. See ya.
Cheerful chap. Forrester, there's one for each of you.
Oh, what are these, more capsules?
They're cigarette lighters, entirely unmarked. They're rather valuable. If you need money, you may be able to pawn them.
Who are they from, His Majesty?
No, from me. Well, it's not always pleasant, you know, to sit here safe and watch men leave.
Oh, Robbie, old boy, I apologize.
Of course. If you don't need them, we shall expect to get them back, you know. Make it a fast trip. Cheerio.
Approaching target.
Pilot to Forrester. Get ready for the drop.
Ready for the drop.
The door's open. Go home.
Where's Zabreski? Saw him drop behind that hill. Let's go. Very good start, is it? Well, all watches were synchronized for the acid test Schweinfurt mission that was set for 0700.
get to the station.
There's nothing to hurry for, didn't you know? All trains are delayed because of the air raid last night at Würzburg.
Oh, yes. Just the same, our friend will be waiting for us.
All right, in that case, I'll leave with you as soon as we finish up.
Who's that? Otto!
Fritz!
Why, I thought you were in Russia.
I'm on my way back there now, Fritz.
Oh?
Now to have a soft, stay-at-home job like yours.
So? I was up half the night chasing parachutists.
Fritz has a great imagination. You should hear him when he's been fishing.
Yeah, well, this is no fish story. One of them was killed, 2 are at large, and we found their parachutes. We even know how big they are.
As big as your fish that got away?
These won't get away. The adjustments of the straps on the parachute, it's possible to tell the size of a man's waist, the size of his legs, almost his weight. The flying suits gave us their height.
And even 6 feet tall. Big, aren't they? Like Katrina. How can you be so sure they carry a radio? Do parachute straps tell you that?
That's automatic. We know that all such swine carry radios.
All this trouble over 2 enemy soldiers. In Russia, a man fights millions.
Time to run for a hole.
That's it! Everybody out!
Time to run for a hole.
Everybody out!
The man with the rucksack, does he know a friend of yours?
Since 10 minutes.
Here, I'll have a look at that.
to get a close look at some machinery.
Halt! Come out! What are you doing in there?
The men's report, the vital message as to whether or not the mission was successful simply was not coming through.
Try again.
You can hear them crying even in code. Well, it's this or Plan B. Check the final in the transmitter. That's shot. Kaput.
Almost gets us caught. Now it lies down and dies.
We'll bury it.
Plan B?
And back in London, we listened to the strains of Wagner coming through from Schweinfurt, wondering if, at the precise moment of 5, the music would suddenly go dead, the station go off the air. That would be our signal that the Schweinfurt raid was successful and our agents were still alive. Plan B, the wireless station.
Sentry.
Paul, what are you doing here?
I'm lost. I'm looking for the railway station.
Don't you know this area is restricted for civilians?
Oh, I didn't know.
Show me your papers. Stand back.
Headquarters, 8th Air Force. Separate. Meet at the canteen.
Goeringstrasse 38, near the station.
Right. Got the password?
Walk in and ask for the correct time.
Cheers.
Make that up. Wiedersehen, old boy.
Morning, sister. Can you tell me the right time? Morning, sister. Can you tell me the right time?
Don't you know this order has taken the vow of silence?
No, it's my first time here.
So I thought. Otherwise, you would know this canteen is not for civilians, unless they can show travel orders.
I have travel orders.
Let me see them. Perhaps you're also ignorant of what an SS uniform looks like. I said, show me your orders. This has not been validated for today.
Well, it's still early. I was going to have it done by the dispatcher at the railway station.
So you were born in Alsace?
Yes.
One of the two parachutists is said to be in Alsatian. 6 feet tall.
Oh, 2 parachutists were captured nearly an hour ago.
Where did you hear that?
On the street, people were talking about it.
Strange, I haven't heard it.
True, nevertheless. Thank you, sister.
This place is being watched. I'll meet you in front of Weidmannstrasse 14 in half an hour.
I can't leave. I have a friend who's to meet me here.
I'll warn him when he gets here.
Yes, he is here now.
Then it is an escape station.
Hold him. We'll send a squad.
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me the correct time, please?
Sister, you're not the one that...
Please, follow me. Down here.
What happened to the other sister?
Sister Elsa, she was arrested back at the canteen.
And that 14 Weidmannstrasse. That was a trap for me, wasn't it?
No. We were organized to help escape prisoners of war, not spies. And now our whole escape ring has been destroyed.
That's the end of 14 Weidmannstrasse.
Hurry. They might have found out about this place by now. Here, put this on. A priest's habit. I have the papers to go with it. They were prepared for an escaped prisoner. He was caught before he's able to use them.
How did you get away?
Through the back way. It doesn't matter now.
Matters to me. I had a friend.
I know. The Gestapo was looking for you, and he walked in. I think Elsa and I knew who he was even before he spoke.
He asked for the time?
They can be brutal, the Gestapo. Brutal and cruel. All of a sudden, there were a dozen of them there, crowding them, pushing them up against the wall, searching them.
Duncan. What about Duncan?
He was lucky. Before they could stop him, he took some kind of a pill.
What about the others?
The other nuns, they had no part of it, just Elsa and I. And she'd been there longer. Maybe they've been watching her for weeks. Please, we've got to hurry. We've got to think of ourselves. There's another way out.
First thing is some transportation.
Yes, we'll have to steal a car.
Quite an order you belong to. Sisters of Silence who talk and going for stealing cars.
Borrow might be a better word.
This one will do. Best things in life are free, sister.
There's no key.
The keys are for lazy people. Step on the starter when I tell you to.
Not yet.
Anything wrong, Father? It's the wiring again. Sometimes it's hard not to swear.
Can I be of help?
No, thank you. It's all right now. But the battery is a little weak. If you could give us a push.
Oh, of course.
A good deed is its own reward. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
The owner's report on his stolen car did not reach our local Gestapo headquarters until late in the afternoon. It was a black foreign-made sedan, year 1936 model, license number 2U7569.
Your papers, please. I'll answer it, Hans. Your front tire needs air.
Thank you. We're in an awful hurry. Would you mind letting us through?
One moment, please. Ready, sir? Number 2U7.
I'll find out before long that we took the Frankfurt Highway.
We'll double back towards Karlsruhe.
at the next crossing. We should reach the Rhine by morning.
We'll never get across the Rhine in a stolen car. It's too well guarded. What's your plan for that, sister?
I haven't one. But you must admit I'm a good driver.
Wouldn't you like me to drive for a while?
No, thank you. I'm not tired.
Nobody in this car. That's strange. We will have to report this. Come.
It was good planning. Stopping the train that way. What made you think of it?
You're driving, sister. Sister Maria. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've just entered France.
I'm sorry. I should have been more alert.
It's time to bail out.
You mean jump?
Mm-hmm. The boys will have identified that stolen car by now. They'll be catching up with this train. We're slowing down now for a curve. You can make it.
I can make it. Aren't you coming with me?
What, you think I'd miss jumping off a fast freight with a nun? Come on, we'll take the outside curve where the engineer can't see us. Scared?
No.
Paratroopers yell Geronimo when they jump. Maybe it helps.
Geronimo!
Sister Maria. Sister Maria. Sister Maria.
Geronimo.
Are you all in one piece?
Oh. I don't know. I hope so.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Fine, I guess.
Sister, you'd make a fine paratrooper.
Thank you. What do we do now?
You just sit still. But they'll be looking for a pair like us, so I'd better shed my priesthood and bury the evidence right here. Sister Maria, I have some water. What is this? Who are you, anyway?
Maria Courbet.
French?
Sometimes German. It depends on which war we're between.
Alsatian?
Yes. We left for France just before the war started. My mother and father were killed in an air raid. My brother was taken prisoner at Sedan.
So you joined the underground?
A leader of the Marquis recruited me to help. I'll be reporting back to him now.
Here. Let me. That's quite a jump from a nun to all this.
No rougher than the jump I just took.
You could have let me in on this a bit sooner.
Under the circumstances, I thought it wiser not to.
Well, they say war is full of surprises and lost opportunities. Cigarette?
Thanks.
Where are you going? I was told the Chavons farm lies on the main road from Chateau Salin.
I've lived in this district all my life. Can you tell me where the Chavons farm lies?
It was kind of you to pick us up. We have complete confidence in you.
You have manners, mademoiselle. A pity you don't travel in better company. Halt! And now, monsieur, why do you wish to visit the Chavons farm?
To see a farmer named Etienne.
We were told to expect more men. How many?
3. The other 2 are dead.
Get down.
Will you tell this boy to put that gun away? All we want to do is see Etienne.
I am Etienne. Get down! Go ahead. You will find that we don't like to be deceived, monsieur.
Well, no one's trying to deceive you.
We were told about 3 men, but nothing about a woman. What is she doing here?
She saved my life. She's trying to find a certain Maquis leader.
Perhaps you've heard of him. He's known as the Torch.
It's all right, Etienne. You, Forrester. Lautrec! What took you so long, eh? What are you doing here, Howard? Mr. Robbins, that's how. He sent me word you would come unless, of course, you were dead.
Well, that's Robbins for you.
Me, I knew you'd come promptly at dinner time.
Dinner?
Dinner. Yeah. Now I see you bring guests along, eh? But what a guest.
Maria! Maria, this is my friend Lautrec.
How do you do?
A girl with looks like yours. It's too good to be true. Didn't I hear you mention the Torch?
You did, monsieur.
You know the right people. From what I hear, this Torch, he blazes with a great deal of glory, eh?
You can get us in touch with him, can't you?
I will do better than that. I will put us all in touch with him. Why do you think this Robbins had me meet you, huh? We have orders to report at once to this same man. We shall have a time, you and I.
It'll be good to have some excitement for a change. Not to mention a chance to travel.
Even better for the education. Let's eat. What, for example, do you know of these small pilotless airplanes the Boche have produced, huh?
Pilotless?
Huh? Hey, you see? Pilotless. Each of them is a bomb containing a ton of TNT. Hey, at the end. A boy with a man's appetite. Eat. At this very moment, the Boche are preparing launching platforms all along the coast, from Calais to Dieppe. We shall leave for there in the morning. And if we can't stop them, we can at least delay them until the invasion is underway.
Who is this we?
Why, you and I. Of course, we shall have some small help, the RAF, the 8th Air Force, the Maquis.
Oh, if they prove inadequate, monsieur, don't hesitate to call on me.
A butterfly just out of the cocoon. For the information of this hearing, it took a full week, 7 days to reach the French coastal zone. But by then, we had managed to liberate some bicycles and obtain fictitious credentials from the Vichy government for our equally fictitious inspection of the area. Danger?
Forward.
We're looking for the Torch.
He was expecting you?
Well, he should be. We're under direct orders to report to him.
see.
Marie. Oh, you're safe. You're all right. Oh, it's stupid of me to worry. Let me look at you. Conspiracy agrees with you.
The surrendering sergeant.
He is the torch?
More like a burnt-out match.
What are you saying?
It seems that we've met before, Maria, if only briefly.
Not brief enough.
Don't forget it, Lautrec. What he did then was under orders.
A man who would take such orders can't give the kind I would follow.
Then you should leave. I can tell you that Marcel has done more for France than you and the rest of us put together.
That is true. Why do you think he wears these gloves? Mutilated fingers, a present from the Gestapo for refusing to tell who blew up the tire factory at Rouen.
Paul! Take him upstairs. Come on. What happened? Where are the others?
They killed Jean and Baptiste, wounded Paul. But we took the pictures. Here they are.
Yeah, the weasel captain who gave the order.
The hero Legionnaires.
I'm giving the orders now. As you can see, we're not dead heroes who refuse to surrender. We're live soldiers who are continuing the fight. And we're making ourselves felt. You can work with us if you want to, or not. Just as you choose.
We'll work with you.
Come on, Armand. Develop this film. See what we've got.
You should feel at home here, Lautrec.
I feel at home.
If we're lucky, Marcel, if these pictures have turned out, we'll see the trial run of a robot bomb.
So far, we do not know the exact altitude or speed of this bomb. But we have reason to believe that it has a range of more than 150 miles. Ready, Armand?
Here we are. Yes. Very good. Notice that these launching sites are easily camouflaged and offer a poor target for our bombers. Watch now. There. With a range such as this, the enemy can strike England at any one of a dozen vulnerable points. You can appreciate its possibilities.
Armand has set us an example of courage, and he's shown us what to look for. At dawn tomorrow, we're going to make a reconnaissance of a dummy airfield the Germans used to fool our bombers. We reported this to London, and the bombing ceased. Now, the Germans are using this and starting new activities.
I think we'll find that this airfield is now being used as another launching site.
Hey, that's not a robot bomb. There's a pilot in it.
In less than an hour, London had the short-wave report from our resistance organization. The report read, Germany has a jet plane that will fly.
Lautrec. Coffee?
Yeah. Oh.
Coffee?
Well, thanks. Yes, if you'll sit down. First it was Sister Maria. Then Maria. Now I guess it's just plain Sister.
You're thinking about Marcel, aren't you?
Oh, I'm thinking of a lot of things. Hairbreadth escapes from the Gestapo, jumping off moving freight trains, lost opportunities, and the fortunes of war.
Please, you don't understand.
Excuse the interruption. Get all details of jet plane immediately. Size, speed, probable rate of climb. As many views of the plane as possible. That means film.
Providing we can take the pictures, how do we deliver them?
By submarine. I'll have one standing by for the pickup. I've replied that we'll deliver the material within 24 hours. Or not at all.
I don't like the sound of that, or not at all.
Let's borrow their film. The film their own cameraman took, the man we saw this morning.
By now, that'll be miles away, being processed in their laboratories under heavy armed guard.
Where does it go after it's processed?
Most of it is picked up once a day for review by local Corps headquarters.
Yeah, but obviously, this isn't most film. It'll get a top security rating and go direct to German headquarters in Paris. How? By staff car?
That's right.
A staff car on the road to Paris might not be missed for hours.
It's a thought, monsieur. A good one.
At least it's worth a try.
Escort car.
You go on and get the film out of the car.
can't help it. The film's more important. No, no, he'd say so himself. Get in. Did they make it? I never knew. Just as I never again saw any of them. Forrester, Maria, and until this day, Marcel. And since, as I am told, the murder of Armand happened after I left the proceedings, Marcel gave the orders. I'm sure he can go on from there.
I will tell him what I can.
Thank you, monsieur. From the beginning, however, we felt sure we could produce a witness who had actually seen the murder committed. Whereas you, Major, escaped your German captors once more and joined the Free French forces in North Africa, this witness has only recently escaped from a prison camp behind the Iron Curtain. Bring in the witness. Later, monsieur and mademoiselle.
Maria. My butterfly just out of the cocoon, eh?
Later, please. The facts first. And beginning, if you please, with your account of the ambush for the German film. The men's return.
Yes, sir. They did obtain the film. And that same night, back in the cellar, we all had our first look at it. And all at once, we realized we were seeing much more than we'd expected.
Sprit. That means fuel. Sauerstoff, that's oxygen. This must be a diagram of the engine and how it works. It's like a blueprint.
They must have added film they already had to what they took this morning.
You could almost design a plane from this.
We've got to get this to England.
England? She couldn't possibly build a plane like this in time. Well, the pictures of it in the air, of course we can send her those. But the rest, the secrets, to fight a plane, you don't have to know how to build it.
Well, what of it? We've got the film. The sub's waiting to pick it up.
My friend, we will do all in our power to help your country destroy Germany in this war. But we will not help it to build weapons which can be used only in a capitalistic war of the future.
Capitalistic war?
Even way back there in that farmhouse in 1940, you didn't approve. Why? Because at that time, Germany was on Russia's side. You were surrendering us to Stalin as well as Hitler.
Armand was doing what he had been taught. He was following my orders.
You were giving the orders even then. And you knew this about him?
I knew it.
You feel the way he does?
Does it matter? Isn't your country an ally of Russia? Isn't it enough that we all fight the Germans?
And you, all of you, the rest of you, do you feel the same way?
You're under my command, monsieur, as you are.
Then it's my duty to remind you that all captured material about Germany is pooled. You can be sure that Russia will be sent duplicates of this film.
I can be sure of nothing. If there's any pooling to be done, it can be done in Russia as well as England.
The war can't wait that long.
Marcel, you communists claim to be democratic. Then you're willing to put this to a vote.
A vote? The commander in the field doesn't put his decision to a vote.
You're the military commander. You're making a political decision.
What's the matter? Are you afraid of a vote?
Of course not.
Marcel is our leader.
I'm prepared to take the film to England as soon as it's ready. As soon as you tell me where to contact the sub.
You know the Germans have drawn a ring around this whole sector.
I'll have to be carefully briefed where not to go.
Anything else, Commander?
Yes, Commissar. I'll need a German uniform.
A reward of 50,000 francs will be paid for the information leading to the arrest of any of the assassins who tonight ambushed a German military vehicle. A reward of 100,000 francs will be paid for the return of a certain item of military property stolen in this ambush. The assassins are believed to call themselves Marquis, and their car was found abandoned shortly afterward.
To wish you luck.
Brandy. No vodka?
Please. We may never see each other again.
Oh, I thought of that, too. Then I thought, well, even if we did, what would we talk about? The Kremlin and the evils of capitalism? Cheers.
I would have no reason to talk of such things.
It's not the way you voted.
I voted for Marcel, not his beliefs. He came to me when I'd lost everything, gave me a part in his work, a reason to want to live. How could I help but stand by him? Despite what he says, what he believes, I know most of all he's a patriot of France.
France? France isn't his country, just happens to be where he lives. He let France down in 1940. And he'll do it again. Just as soon as the Politburo pulls the strings.
Try and remember I did what I had to do.
I'd rather just remember that we met. I like it better that way.
We'll need this to signal the sub. The film was in the respirator? It'll get by any infantry patrol. Only the Gestapo would think to look in there.
Thanks. Good luck, Forrester. Auf Wiedersehen.
His chances are good. He makes a very convincing Boche.
I'm not sure this is the right time for such thoroughness, monsieur. You have quite a trip to the beach.
At least you make it clear how this happens to be the wrong film. I had a hunch you wouldn't stick by the vote.
Forrester, did you think my convictions could be changed by a vote? I know what my duty is. To see that the right film arrives where it belongs. Marcel. Armand. Are you coming with us? You can't do this. We voted. We decided the film should go to England. How many times have I heard you say communism is the real democracy? You preached it. Yet a vote means nothing to you. Are you coming with us? No. You must understand, Maria. Are you coming with me?
No.
Get down there.
Give me your gun.
Taking the bicycles. Marcel must know where he's going with that film. Is there communist headquarters anywhere around here?
I don't know, but since we've been in this sector, Marcel has made several trips to Abbeville, and there's no Marquis headquarters there.
Abbeville, he'd have to break through the ring.
He couldn't go by road. He'll take the beach. The same route I was going to take.
You can't do this. Why, you can't even hope to catch up with him before dawn. The submarine won't wait that long.
It might, if someone was signaling.
I could do it, Forrester.
Patrol, coming this way.
What are we going to do? We can't all hide.
The radio, the equipment, they'll find it.
Emil, hide everything. Maria and Renee, stay here. The rest of you below.
Whoa, here!
What's happened? What are you doing here?
Well, I just came to see my girl.
The whole sector's alerted and you got a pass to see your girl?
Well, no, Sergeant, but it's a good thing I did come to see her because I ran into something important. Maria! Renee! I was just telling the sergeant. There were 3 Marquis hiding here. They left us before I walked in. Tell him.
Yes, they forced us to hide them. They had guns.
You'd better hurry, Sergeant. They have a head start.
Is this your place of business?
Yes, unfortunately, I've been inactive of late.
I'll check into that. After I check into this. Let's go inside.
What's down there? They were hiding in the cellar, Sergeant, but I'm loyal to the new order, and I closed the door and locked them in. But they shot their way out, see?
There's nothing down there, Sergeant. I searched, but there's no time to waste. These people think they know which way the Marquis went.
I heard them mention Abbeville. They were talking about going along the coast.
They're riding bicycles. Wouldn't take long to catch them in a car.
You say there were 3 of them?
Could they be the 3 men who ambushed the staff car?
Have the operator radio an alert for 3 men on bicycles along the coast, direction of Abbeville.
Come.
All right, soldier, come on.
Renee, I'm going with you.
Headquarters reporting on the other search details, Sergeant. They've sighted no one. Shall I report in?
And do what? Admit we're responsible for a wild goose chase?
We've only gone 3 or 4 kilometers, Sergeant. There's all the area ahead.
Up ahead are so many patrols, nobody could get through. If those men haven't been sighted, it's because they don't exist. This is far enough.
They might be on foot by now. On the beach or on the cliffs. It's right over there. Let's take a look.
I give the orders here.
Landmine below the cliff.
Keep us covered. Search is closed thoroughly.
Keep firing. Sergeant, if you keep them busy, I'll go around. Make them keep their heads down!
That last sight of Forrester. Never will I stop hearing those shots. And the submarine, perhaps it never came at all. I never knew. Till Laserte managed to bring me here so I could tell my story. I never knew that Marcel survived that night to go on fighting for his special cause. I then learned that he has never stopped fighting for it, and that he was able to have a prisoner held captive long after the war ended.
Unable to direct the assassination of a diplomat in Trieste, a ruler in Iran, a scientist in Norway.
What have you to say to this, monsieur?
What can I say? What could anyone say to such charges? This murder on an international scale.
We're more interested at the moment in the murder of one French Marquis, Armand Dubois.
Then I must tell you that charge is as incredible, as fantastic as why she should tell such a story. The film, yes, there was film, as Lautrec told you. We looked at it, it was utterly worthless. But this wild fight on the beach. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but her entire story is a complete falsehood.
Can you prove it's a falsehood?
Why must we speak of proof? Unless I am officially accused. And I can't believe we've come to that. You have your collection of names. I've told you our problem. What witnesses are left who can support her story?
Here is one, monsieur. An entry made on the night in question in the log of the submarine X-285. At 0400 hours, we were preparing to abandon the rendezvous when we sighted the first bursts of gunfire along the coast and caught a signal from the cliff. Realizing we could not risk surfacing at that time, we waited until the gunfire subsided. Then, on the chance of finding the courier's body and the film he carried, we launched a raft and presently did sight a body, half submerged on an offshore rock. It was the courier, badly wounded but alive. And he stayed alive all the way to England. He was quite alive when he caught a glimpse of you in America, Marcel, not long after the war. He started the case against you then. And when your consulate questioned you, you condemned him. You were sure you'd seen him killed. You were sure he could no longer speak out. And you were sure there were no longer any others in a position to speak for him. It was your story against Forrester's, until the truth appeared. You should be well prepared to go to trial now, sir. And the governments of this world that believe in peace can cross many cases off their files.
You have no proof of those charges. I challenge you to show me proof.
Yes, monsieur. You've operated with remarkable skill. We have no legally admissible evidence of your guilt for those later crimes. Only for one crime, the murder of Armand Dubois. But when the guillotine falls for Armand, it will fall for those others, too. Peter Forrester. Later, monsieur. Later.